Shot looking for a tip, and that one not too far wide from Polini. Slapped back out of the zone. Storm might have numbers. Will skate to the middle instead. Got a man on rushing to the net as Hughes goes round the back one-handed. Out to the side. How did that go? It did go in! It's Johnson with the first tally! A cheeky little play at the side of the goal, and Storm find themselves on the board. 9 minutes and 44 to go in the first period.
Cheeky is exactly the word there. Wasn't much of an opportunity going forward, so Ryan Hughes thought, I'll skate sideways, skate where there's room. It's always a good idea. Ends up bringing it round the side. You can tell because of the defenseman's stick, he's not going to get a shot off himself. Plays it off the wall. He knows there'll be someone following up, and following up was Stephen Johnson, who's able to tap it into an empty net. You can watch Bounds here. He's going around the other side, thinking there might be a wraparound attempt. Absolutely fooled.
It goes off the hip of Bounds, and with how nonchalant Johnson was, I thought he missed it, or he put it under the pad of Bounds. Took me a second to realise he actually did score it, as Gillette picks that one out of the air but can't skate onto it, and we're back underway. Scrappy play in the neutral zone is tidied up by the Devils and sent deep. Hughes gets the first assist. Loose puck in the zone is gobbled up by Garcia. Goes for a skater pass out wide. In the back of the goal, second tally! A speculative shot from out wide, and I think it's Gino Estevez.
I think you're right there. Questions have to be asked of how that went in short side on Ben Bounds. 2 back-to-back goals.
I just don't think he squeezed hard enough on the blocker side.
It's a perfectly placed shot in the end from Gino. That his 8th goal of the season. Let's get a look at this here. This will be the perfect angle for it.
I thought he skated on a bit too far. Bounds not sealing the post on the right-hand blocker side and just left a gap, and Gino Estevez can pick those all day long.
All of a sudden you can blink and the score.
It is indeed. The average power play for a coach would want to be about 80%. As the Storm win that back to the blue line. Dawo's shot goes off a shin pad and Hughes will collect. Backhand back to the point. Morrow back down the hash marks. Storm moving it around nicely. Quick shot, tipped, and it's in the back of the goal. That's 3. Goal on the power play. Shot from Dawo, tipped in front and turned past the pads of Bounds. 4 minutes and 48 to go in the first period, and it's all Storm.
Yeah, how about that? Coming straight out of the box and onto the score sheet for the captain. That's got to feel good, making amends there, and the team's giving him loads of stick taps and fist bumps as he makes his way around. Stood on the right place at the right time. We've been saying how they've been trying to get those redirects all period long, and that one's finally gone in for one of the teams at least.
He's been left
both kind of all in each other's way there.
Face off one to the corner. Batch after it. Milton trying to put pressure on. Storm trying to dig it out of skates. McWilliam over there too. Batch comes away with it. Backhand off the back of the net. Martin forced to take the hit along the boards. Pop to the middle. McWilliam takes it away. Can't find a clean pass to Sanford, and those two Devils defensemen forced to stay out there even longer. Owen Griffiths throws a shimmy shake, trying to force it out in front. It's there for the tap in, and that's goal number 4.
And it's the first point of the season. Look at the celebration for Zach Milton. He's finally on the board. First goal of the year. What a moment for him. Emphatic celebrations inside the Storm shelter. This one means so much.
I didn't give it justice on the first call because I didn't really pick him up, and neither did the Devils defence as he's jumping over Josh Batch.
Jumping for joy there.
With excitement in tapping home that first goal of the season for number 24, Zach.
If they're going to get back into this game, if the deficit ends up being 5, it's going to be a really steep climb to get back into this one. They need to be the next one to score if there's to be another goal in this game.
Indeed, it's a long road back as it is, and they're going to need all the 18 minutes excuse me, that are left on the clock to get back into this one. They're trying to make their way through the neutral zone. Storm player falls down, play goes on. Olszewski, excuse me, not Olszewski, shot goes wide either way. Barrow out to the neutral zone. Falls kindly for Yolette. Saw his skill earlier in the game. Backhand attempt off the initial rebound off the boards. Doesn't go anywhere in the net. Shot from Garcia. Might have Fox is there, and it's in the back of the goal. It's bundled over the line. Referees are probably going to have a look at this. Bounce is insistent that it didn't go in. officials are probably going to have to check this back on the replay. Looks like it might be Gino Estevez with the final touch.
If this goal is to count, Gino's double dipped on the night, bringing his tally up to 9 goals. But will this one count?
Off the post, that is close. That is so close. Called a goal on the ice.
Yeah, you can see the referee emphatically pointing towards the goal, saying that it went in, and that looks to me like it did briefly cross the line. Bounds did his best.
The whole puck has to cross the line. They're going to have enough of a view here to overturn the call on the ice. So as of right now, it's 5-0 up on the scoreline.
Out of superstition, I'm not going to put it down as a goal on my stat pad just yet. But to me, that looks like it crossed the line just before Ben Bounds was able to get a glove over it.
Zach Sullivan really interested in this one. It's all of those here in the storm shelter, and we're going to get like slow-mo replays and all sorts, and whatever the officials need to get the call correct.
And it is almost crucial for the Cardiff Devils. This goal needs to be overturned to give them help to get into this game. They need all sorts of luck to go their way in moments like this now. They played themselves into the situation, but they can have some help as they look to play themselves out of it. Big decision here with the teams getting a bit of chance to rest halfway through a period.
Well, whilst this live review is going on, you're watching again that one off the post. Bounds, it's so close. It really is. Start thinking of your players of the game, because in about 5 minutes or so, we want you to get in contact.
How about the reaction speed as well on the backhand from Gino?
There is one frame right there, and they're watching it over and over again. That's still on the line. It's not fully crossed in my eyes.
Next frame though, they need to show that one again.
They do, and if they can zoom in on it, I don't know if they can for the overhead cams, but that would be the most decisive.
And again, if the call on the ice is a goal, they need substantial evidence that it didn't cross the line in order for them to overturn it.
And that's why we think that, well, in my opinion, that's why we think the last 2 frames that we saw before Bounds puts his glove over and sweeps away are so decisive. They've actually come to the decision. They're coming out onto the ice. Points for a goal. It's 5 on the board. Either they saw it cross the line or they couldn't find tracking to pick it up. A couple of players change on the man advantage. Yolette, fresh off the bench, gets poke checked on his way through into the zone, and the Devils send it down once more. Storm won't mind this. 50 seconds left on the man advantage. 4 minutes and change left in the third period.
Yeah, Storm can afford to take their time here on this one. They're going to look to get in the blue line anyway, though, in a dump and chase.
Johnson holds in. Batch after it in the corner. Sends it to the line. Yolette holds at the blue. Dishes for Erdhart, looking for a way through. Bush blocks that and sends it out to the neutral zone. Not enough on it to get any further than just inside the blue line. Devils still managed to make a change with Erdhart tracking back behind his own goal.
Yeah, and that's the type of clearance where if you're not short-handed, you might be able to pounce on that. Wenninger kind of left stranded in no man's land there.
As Noah Carroll goes on a charge from defence. 3 seconds left on the man advantage. And fresh out of the box go the Devils. Might have numbers in over the blue line if they're quick. Quick passing play goes all the way past Davies in front of net, and a wild chop down the ice in on Bounds. That won't go for icing, and Devils forced to head back up the ice with 3 minutes left to go in the period and the game.
Yeah, with a 5-goal deficit, Bounds still making glances towards his team's bench to see if they want him to make his way off for an extra attacker, but he can't now with the Storm coming back in.
Arnhem cuts to the middle, quick shot. We've not seen that move in a while. Bobbling, bouncing puck, didn't get too much on it towards the goal, and the Devils break out once more. In over the blue line, trying to drive around Harrison. Stopped up, goes back to the point, one touch pass. Batch is there, shot wide of the goal, rebound. Off the end boards, dealt with by Wenninger. Sanford curls around the top of the circles, getting forced by Morrow, pushed over, and away goes the number 70. He has Griffiths in the middle if he wants him, all the way across. Inside outside move, couldn't get pulled by Griffiths probably had too many options and went with the wrong one.
Well, Bounds was down. He was in position already. Couldn't really change his angle. If he was able to get that puck wrapped around, would have had a free shot, possibly a free goal there, but just, yeah, maybe ran out of time with too many options.
And we have less than 2 minutes to go in the game as that one takes a ramp off a stick and bounces back to the neutral zone, ripped round the boards, and Dallas Earhart will be first to it, trying to help it on his way. Shot from the point, got a tip on the way through. Olszewski camped out in front once more. Shot from the line, looking for a redirect. Mosey circling the zone. O'Brien at the side of the net gets the puck poke checked away from him from Dallas Earhart. He goes off the boards and all the way down. Dawu after it.
Max, that's an absolutely crucial stick from Dallas Earhart. Martin was absolutely clean through to have a shot there.
Down in front, it is Dawu from Hughes. Play below the goal line and pop back out in front, and Dawu wasting what the Devils couldn't do at one end, the Storm can do at the other, and it's 6 on the board.
Well, you just can't keep him off the score sheet, can you? We were making a point of it. Seemingly every Storm player had had their name somehow on the score sheet. Zach Milton getting on there for the first time this season, but Alexei Dawu, the league leader in points, hadn't yet. But with that goal, his 27th of the season, he extends his point tally out the front to 61.